A very good evening to one and all present here in this platform. My name is Tirthankar Ganguly, teacher of St. Augustine's Day School, Shamnagar. Today, I'm going to discuss about a very well-known poem by William Wordsworth, that is Daffodils. Now, before we start understanding this poem, we need to know a little bit about Wordsworth's theory of poetry. In 1802, a book named Preface to Lyrical Ballads was published, which was Wordsworth's creation. Through that book, we came to know about the Wordsworth theory, where he says poetry is a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings and emotions. He says that nature can be the best subject of poetry, and we can get connected to the nature emotionally in a platonic way. So in this poem, we will get to know how Wordsworth loved nature. Let us go through the poem line by line and understand it nicely. The first stanza says, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So, reading the first stanza, we can clearly understand that Wordsworth is totally attracted towards the nature. The clouds, the vales, valleys, which is the hills, daffodil flowers, the breeze floating. So, the nature is the best gift that we have, and it is also the most beautiful thing on earth. So, as we all know that Wordsworth lived in England in Lake District, and in that place it is quite filled with, it is full of valleys, hills. So we can understand why Wordsworth was so connected, so attracted towards the nature. In this poem, we will get few poetic devices which we will discuss in due course of time. Now, there are few poetic devices like similes, metaphors. The English students know it very well. Here also we will get some. Let me read the first stanza once again quickly. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. So, while Wordsworth is walking over the greeneries, he is saying like I am feeling like the clouds, and I am floating like the clouds over the valleys, over the hills. So, Wordsworth is comparing himself with the cloud. Now here we can get a poetic device, the figure of speech, that is simile. What is simile? When we compare one object with another. It can be a person with an object, a non-living object. Okay, it can be comparing one with another. So here Wordsworth is comparing himself with the clouds, like the clouds. Okay, we do not directly say that you are that object. Like if I say you are a fool, then that is a metaphor. What is the difference between a simile and a metaphor? Simile compares using the word like. You have some similarities with that object, which we call a simile. And metaphor is you are directly that object. Okay. You are like a fool and you are a fool. There is a slight difference between like and you are directly that thing. So simile is using the word like. Similarities. Okay. So here in the first line only we are getting a poetic device, that is simile. Okay. The poet also personifies the flowers by saying that they were fluttering. Now, especially the students, I would like to interact that who flutters, or which animal or creature, I would say, that flutters. It's like butterflies, a living being. Here, a flower is an inanimate object, we can say that. Okay, so personification. Okay, personifying means like human beings, giving a human quality, personality, that is personification. Okay, so a flower is fluttering like a butterfly, a living being, a living creature. That is why we are calling this personification, personifies. Okay. So one last time. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd. So I was walking. Okay, I was just roaming around trying to get connected with the nature, and all at once my eyes got attracted towards a bunch of golden daffodil flowers. What are they doing? They were fluttering, they were dancing with the flow of the breeze. Where were they? They were beside the lake and beneath, under the trees. So this is the first stanza. I guess everyone is clear about it. Now we will go to the second stanza. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Now again, students, in the second stanza, again in the first line, we are getting another figure of speech, poetic device, that is again a simile. The flowers are compared to the stars. Why? As the stars twinkle, it's like they glisten with their lustrous looks. Here Wordsworth is saying that this golden daffodils has also a shiny, a lustrous look, as if the flowers are also twinkling. A comparison with the flowers and the stars, similarities. That is why here also we can say that there is a figure of speech which is simile. They stretched in a continuous line, like a straight line, just like the stars in the galaxy. Okay, so at night on the terrace rooftop, if we look at the stars, okay, we try to connect one stars with another. We try to we try to create an unimaginable line, and we try to draw some interesting things, and sometimes we get also. So here, as according to Wordsworth, he is saying that the flowers are also in a continuous unimaginable lines, like the stars they stretch out in the galaxy Milky Way. The daffodils were shining with the golden color, as I have said before, they were twinkling. The flowers were visible as far as the poet could see along the shore line of the bay. That is why he uses the phrase never-ending line. Here, continuous and never-ending may also suggest that the flowers left an everlasting impact on him, because as we will go through the poem further, we will also get another example that how attracted Wordsworth was after he came back from that place also. So once again, the second stanza, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, just like the stars twinkle, they shine in the galaxy. The flowers are also stretching in the same way along a margin of a bay, the unimaginable line. 10,000 saw I at a glance. At once, at one point, I can see in a row 10,000 flowers. 10,000 is just a random number. There were so many flowers that it was uncountable. That is why Wordsworth is just taking a number 10,000 to make us understand that there were many flowers stretching in a line, tossing their heads, stretching their heads up, and sprightly dance with the flow of the breeze, the cool, calm, mild wind. Okay, so this is the second stanza. Now moving on to the third stanza. Before I move on, I will also explain two more figure of speech. One is hyperbole. 10,000 saw I at a glance. As I have said, that the flowers were uncountable according to William Wordsworth. So here we can say that he was also trying to exaggerate. Okay, as if he was so attracted that he is saying that there are so many flowers that I can even count. Hyperbole is some sort of that exaggerated statements. Okay, just like say as if we say that, you know, I have saw so beautiful flowers. The way I'm saying so beautiful flowers, this is can be a kind of exaggeration. Okay, exaggeration means trying to say something in a way which is not so important or not so beautiful to that extent. But I was so attracted that I am reaching towards that level. I am making that thing to an upgraded position. That is what I am doing. I am exaggerating. Okay. Another one also we have, that is personification. Okay. The poet also says that the daffodils were tossing their heads. They were stretching as if they were trying to see something. They were dancing as if they were very happy. Actually, the poet himself was amazed so much seeing a bunch of so shiny golden flowers that actually he was dancing, seeing the beauty of the nature, getting attracted towards the beauty of the nature. So this can be an example of personification again. So in these two stanza, I guess it is quite clear to us. Let's go to stanza 3. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay, happy in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. So the poet is saying that when I was there in that particular place, I watched, I stared, I kept on staring to those flowers. And I was thinking a little bit that what a wealthy material I have got. The nature has gifted to me. Again the same thing. The waves beside them danced as if everything beside the flowers, the center of attraction. Okay, every plot, every situation, the place were revolving around that center of attraction, that is the daffodil flower. Like the nature is also getting amazed. They got so amazed that every single thing is dancing in glee, happiness, gay. The flowers outstone the lively waves in their happiness. Having such a cheerful companion like the daffodils, the poet cannot help but be happy. So I'm not stretching this too far. We can understand this carefully, very clearly, that the sparkling waves, they are also happy, glee. Okay, the poet himself is in a gayful situation, that is also being in a happy mood. Okay, the poet waited and stared to the flowers for a long time and thought what a beautiful gift he has received. The fourth stanza. For oft on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood. They flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dance with the daffodils. So, what happens? Whenever we see a very beautiful, very attractive things, after returning to our home, while taking rest in our private rooms, we try to recollect those attractive things, those attractive situations, the feel that we have got right at that point of time. We smile lonely, imagining those things again and again, and we feel like what a beautiful thing, or what a beautiful place, or what a beautiful situation I have got. So the poet in the last stanza is also saying that after gazing towards the beautiful, shiny, golden daffodil flower, I came back to my place. I was lying on my couch in vacant. My brain was empty now, and I am filling up my brain with that attractive imagination. So he clarifies why the sight of the flowers was so important in his life. Not only at that point of time after returning home, he tried to recollect that beautiful scenery. He is saying that whenever I lie down, whenever I take rest, whenever I have free time, I just try to recollect that scenery, that beautiful situation, the ambience, which fills my mind, which fills my heart. It's just giving a beautiful massage to my eyes, imagining, while closing my eyes, imagining the beautiful greeneries. It happens to us, isn't it? I guess so. So this is the poem all about William Wordsworth, Daffodils. We will go through the poem one last time and we will end this session. So, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, valleys and hills. I was wandering lonely as a cloud, just like the cloud wanders lonely. When at once I saw a host of golden daffodils were beside the lake, beneath, under the trees. What they were doing? They were fluttering like a butterfly. They were dancing with the flow of the breeze. Continuous as the stars shines, as the stars twinkles, they were also shining, the flowers, with their golden look. They stretched like a never-ending line of the bay, like a margin. I cannot count how many flowers were there. So I am exaggerating and I am saying that 10,000 at one glance I was seeing at that point of time. They were tossing, they were stretching their heads up, and they were dancing with the breeze. The waves beside them also started to dance. But the sparkle, the beauty, the shiny look of that flower also started to represent their beauty in a way that it outshone the beauty of the nature. The beauty of the flowers were beyond the beauty of the nature. I was gazing and gazing, and I thought, what a beautiful gift I have got from the nature. And I came back home and I recollected the same memory in my mind, and it was so soothing whenever I felt like imagining that thing. So what a beautiful nature-loving poet Wordsworth was. We can understand, we can imagine through this poem. So that's all for today. This is Daffodils by William Wordsworth, presented by me, Tirthankar Ganguly. Goodbye for the day. Thank you, everyone.